Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the frozen at sea blast-bled albacore market. This is the high-end, quality-focused, and largest part of the West Coast albacore fishery, measured in both by numbers of boats involved and the volume of fish delivered. Both U.S. and Canadian boats engage in this fishery, but the treaty that sets the rules for fishing in each other's territory is not in place this season, and the future of another treaty is unknown. This has more of a negative effect for Canadian boats due to the fact that the majority of the albacore migration, on average, takes place in the EEZ of the United States. There's a downside for American boats as well. A lot of the big U.S. blast boats go to Canada to offload, eliminating the need for buyers to truck their fish over the border for processing. This brings a little higher price to the fishermen. The current tariff situation likely going to change that. We're just going to have to see what happens. While there are times that a large area of fish will make its way north across the border, the majority of the fish are caught on the U.S. side, and going that far north is unnecessary. Fewer boats on an area of fish is also a very positive thing for U.S. boats. Boats in this fishery vary widely in size, with capacities ranging anywhere from 10 to up over 125 tons. There's a lot of boats in the 25 to 50 ton class. These would be the average size. Refrigeration systems vary from boat to boat, as each system is a custom deal. Available space, fish hold layout, insulation quality, available horsepower, all these things come into play when you're designing and installing a blast system. Because of this, owners spend a ton of money outfitting a boat for this fishery. No matter the size of the boat, it's an expensive game to play. So the reason that blast fish bring the highest price for albacore. All blast boats and blast fish are not equal. Care of the fish at harvest is just as important as core temperature. If you don't take care of the fish as soon as it's caught, how cold and how fast you get it there doesn't really matter. I'll get into some of the science when I go over the research I did for this, but just because you deliver a load of fish at 25 below zero, that doesn't mean that it's a high quality product. The time it took for those fish to core at any given temperature is as critical as the temperature itself. Before processing, fish are graded by cutting off a slice near the tail and then thawed. This has been the traditional method of grading and checking fat content, but new technologies are emerging without having to cut into a fish. Blast boats are all jig boats. These boats troll anywhere between 8 to 25 jigs all at once, and they'll be underway from sunup to sundown, trolling at speeds of 5.5 to 6.5 knots. The way each boat sets up its gear is as varied as the boats themselves. Every operator believes different things for different reasons, and all of us are correct. At least that's what we tell ourselves. Many of these boats have state of the art electronics, including high definition temperature gauges that measure sea surface temperature to the 100th of a degree, searchlight sonar systems, multi beam fathometers, Starlink for sea view downloads and communications, and autopilot, satellite compass, and all kinds of other bells and whistles. The bigger boats can and will stay out the entire season or until they fill up, whatever happens first. September is when some of the big guys will come and start offloading. In the past, much of this fish went to Canada for processing, and I'm not sure if that's going to be the case this year. Our fish are sold on the world market, so where they get processed, it can be anywhere on the planet. The fish will remain in cold storage till processed, when they'll be super frozen to 75 below zero prior to cutting. And they use bandsaws, grinders, and scrapers, woodworking tools. The work's carried out in a cold room to maintain quality. These clips come from Taiwan and Korea. Most of the fish shown are big eye and yellowfin, but there's some larger grade albacore that was likely caught in the South Pacific. You can clearly see that this is not as easy as it sounds. The danger level is high, and hands get cold real fast when you're tossing around negative 75-degree bowling pins. I'll link the vids in the description if you'd like to watch the entire episodes. One of them's a Korean version of like Dirty Jobs. It's kind of cool. It's pretty satisfying watching pros like this do their thing. They're highly skilled. I'd even call them craftsmen. I'll shut up a minute while these clips finish. Then we'll get into some of the research I did to put this little book report together.
It's too light. It feels like a sea. Bulk it up and add a few multicolored graphs.
Okay, so we're back to this document. I've mentioned this multiple times on the channel, but this is the best single source of just quality information as regards to taking care of albacore, what to do, why to do it, all that. And I'll link this in the description as well. But you've seen it. That this one's been mentioned a couple times before on this channel. Then we've got this one. This is more specifically for handling. It covers a lot of the same information. But there was some stuff that I did want to highlight. I'm not even going to bother. But right here in this center column, the speed of freezing, slow freezing, generates large ice crystals. And that causes the membranes of the fish to break. And it just lowers quality. This is just another document that backs up that assertion. And then this one here, this is about ultrasound and using it to determine quality in albacore. It's pretty dry. If you're into it, it's worth the read. I read through it, so you don't have to, but it's definitely interesting to see what's going to happen with this in the future. I don't know if it's something that we're going to see over on this side of the Pacific, but it's nice to know that that sort of technology is happening and that people care about it. Then we got into Gemini. I've got a couple of different little searches that I did here, and they're pretty long, and I'm not going to go through all of it here. The last and final feature to this series will be brine boats, bait boats, and just overall U.S. production of albacore. But this little section here kind of comes into play with what we're talking about, the blast market. There's also what's known as shore-based blast, that in years like what are going on right now, where there's a demand for the product and the prices are high, there's processors out there that do shore-based blast, which is ice fish that gets frozen on land. And in some cases, it's sold as a brine-bled product. It's a higher quality than traditional, but lower quality than blast-bled. The issue with this is that a lot of these shore blast fish get mixed in with the frozen at sea fish. And that's a little bit of a problem because the quality differences are huge. And when this shore blast fish gets mixed in, what it does is it basically, the buyers think that they got frozen at sea fish, they have it in their cold storage. And, no matter how much it is, whether it's 5 ton or 20 ton, well, that's 5 to 20 ton that they're not going to buy off of a boat because they think they already have it. They don't realize that it's not frozen at sea fish until they process it. By then, it's too late. So, as a fisherman, I've got a problem with the shore-based blast stuff. I understand that it's a thing. These are some guys that are doing it. Some guys do it right, but I've also seen it where some guys do it wrong. And I'm just going to scroll through here. You can rewind this. But it goes into why it's different. And the differences frozen at sea and shore-based, ice crystal formation, This is all. This has everything to do with what I'm talking about. This is a pretty. This is probably one of the better answers. I mean, I gave it a nice detailed prompt, and it came back with some good answers. And then over here we got the processing side of things. I showed a little clip in this video. I'm gonna put all the links, but it really gets into the whole processing thing. Pineapple. Maybe one thing about AI is it's gonna give you just the basic answer. Got to get a little bit more specific, and then it got a little bit better. And I'm gonna get into more of the brine stuff in the next video. But I think there was some other stuff in here. Yeah, here we go. This is the whole Canada. I know a lot of our blast fish end up in Canada, or they have been in the past. And I tried to drill down on that a little bit, and I got somewhere, but not what I was hoping for. It's pretty generic. But this Aero Trading Company, they're a big player from what I understand. Bellingham, that's a U.S.-based outfit. I think they do some blast processing. And then these are countries that our fish get exported to. And the current trade climate, the prices, supply chain, fish getting exported and then re-imported. It's all pretty granular, but if you're into it, it's here. And then I tried to see what AI would do to put a script together for this. And it was pretty gay. So I just blew right through that. And that's just more of the same. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Going to got one more coming up. The brine fishery. That's kind of where my loyalties lie. That's my style of fishing from my hometown. And where my passion lies. So I look forward to doing that one. And that's probably going to be later, farther on in the season. I'm hoping to get some more footage. Possibly even make a trip this year. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it could. We'll see. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you got something out of this. I know I did. It takes a little bit of work to put one of these together, but I'm having fun doing it. It's getting a little bit easier. I feel a little bit more comfortable. So once again, everybody, thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.